In this video, we're going to be putting some sideways RC, ARP fasteners, MST wheels, and some new tires all on the Redcat RDS just to help this body pop and have a little bit more scale detail to it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing and crawling and drifting or racing or doing product review videos and how-tos. And we have been doing a lot of work here recently and running this Redcat RDS, and it's time to give it a little bit of extra flair. So we have the SRC, the side mirrors here, because the vehicle doesn't actually come with side mirrors. We're actually going to be using their windshield wipers and looking at how to install the windshield wipers as well. We have some air vents, which I initially thought I was going to put on the hood, but due to the black here, they would kind of just hide. So I don't know if I'm going to actually do that. I may consider putting some of the air vents back here at the back. That may actually give it a little flare. That might look good. While we're here, I'm usually not a big fan of dark wheels with drifting. It's really hard to kind of see what the tires are doing. And if you actually go into any kind of competition kind of area, they'll actually request that you even mark one of the wheels so you can see what's happening. Instead, I think we're going to throw a set of these MST adjustables on here. I have some others that we can mess with and look at also, but these MST wheels are really nice, easily adjustable, and that gray should pop some of this color that we have here on the body and kind of transform the look of the car. We also have a set of Yokomo DRC tires that we're going to mount up because when we take this to the track, it's going to need carpet tires on it. We still want to use the factory tires for stuff like messing around here in the garage and just to let those burn down. You want to keep a set of carpet tires for carpet and a set of non-carpet tires for other locations. The first thing we're going to tackle is these side mirrors. You want to be very careful as you open this because they do include some very, very small little hardware, so you do not want to lose that. We do have the sticker, and then for the mirrors, which are just a black plastic housing, we have these stickers on here that'll actually make them look a little bit like mirrors. So we're going to get those on, and then we're going to just mock up where these mirrors should be here on the body, and then we're going to end up using a small drill to drill through the body and into here so that we can use these screws to mount it. In order to help with drilling these itty-bitty screws both through the body and through the mirror itself, I have this little pen drill kit. It comes with a very precise, all the way down to 0.8 millimeter drills. You chuck it up in here and then you can just twist it and drill it into whatever you're doing. And I have this self-tapping screw kit, so even if we can't really get these itty-bitty screws in here we do have some all the way down to M1 all in this kit that'll allow us to get all this mounted up. And just like that, the mirrors are on. Now, they might not be on if it comes across in video very well because it's very dark here, but they don't look the greatest. It looks like the angle's just ever so slightly off on them, but you can tweak the angle just slightly to get them a little bit more square, makes them look much better. But it does offer that little bit of a scale detail that we're looking for on this body to make it look a little bit nicer. You do have the reflection there from the mirrors. But so that is step one. Those are just screwed in there. We are going to go off to these windshield wipers. It looks like these windshield wipers are going to be a very similar process. They come with a couple little screws here, so it's just going to be on us to take them, put them on the car where we think that they will make the most sense, lay them out kind of like they would be on a regular car. We can lay them down somewhere like this and get those screws drilled in through the back side. So again, I believe I'll be using this very fine 0.8 millimeter pin drill in order to help me drill everything right where I need it. Alright, I screwed both of the windshield wipers in, just drilled a hole right through the center, put the screw in from the back side. So that means they actually can move if I really want them to, but the problem is they're flat and the window's curved, so I have this like that doesn't really look good. So I need to figure out how I'm going to get those to curve. I don't know if I need to get the heat gun and try to just melt them into a little bit of a curve, like maybe I need to take them back off. Do I put a little piece of tape and see if they will just naturally accept that curve? Do I put just a smallest dab of glue behind them in order to try to get them to stick down? Good question. I don't know what the right answer is yet. So I'm going to move on to other stuff. We're going to come back to that. The last part we then have for the body here is these air vents. Really curious what we can do with these. You do get 2 large ones, 2 of these small ones that are still rectangles, and you get 2 of the small ones that are kind of the angled in. Now it looks like from this, and again I don't know how easy it is to see on the camera, but this is actually a stepped area all around here. So I believe what you're supposed to actually do is come over here, and you're actually supposed to cut this hole out of the body and mount this from the underside. And so that is what we're going to be looking at. Now, do I put these up here at the front? Do I then put some of these small ones back here on the rear? You know, is there something like that we want to do? Or do we just want to use the big ones back here alone? It doesn't look like they're actually going to fit very well if that's the case. So I don't think I can really do that with them. It looks like we're probably going to have to leave these up here on the front. And then I'm just going to have to figure out, do I actually want the rear ones back here or not? In order to figure out exactly where I need to cut these holes, because of course I need to cut them fairly precisely, right? I've actually put a piece of tape down here where I think I want to do it. I outlined that whole thing, and then I measured that this is about 2 millimeters all the way around. So marked inside of that all the way around. I'm going to cut this out first. Maybe you can see it there now a little bit better. I'm going to cut this pattern out first on the inside, see if this will actually fit in, and then we will continue to just enlarge it a little bit until this fits in very snugly there. And there we go. Now it is out. So now what we're going to do is take this part and put it in from the bottom. It's probably not going to fit because I tried to cut on the inside of all the lines. Then we'll just slowly open it up until it fits in there nice and tight. So now after some cutting and after some filing to get it just the right shape, it actually pops in there and holds on its own pretty well. So what we're going to do is remove this tape, hopefully not removing any stickers as we do it. Oh yeah, check that out. That actually looks pretty cool on there. That is fun. And so now I'm going to pop it back off. We're actually going to use some hot glue on the bottom side as I go to put this in there. We're going to put some hot glue just around that lip, pop it back in, and let that dry, and we'll have a little vent. Now look at that in there. That's actually looking pretty good. I'm loving that. Adds a little bit of detail. Yes, it is black on black. It's not going to stand out really and jump out at you, but it is going to add a little detail. While I was there, I actually took the smallest amount of hot glue possible, put it underneath these windshield wipers, put it back down. You can't even see really that it's there, but now it's going to help it conform to the body and looks so much better. Aha! Other side is done. Look at that little scale detail in there. That's kind of fun. We got the mirrors on, got the windshield wipers on, we got the hood vents in. All of this really helping this just overall add some scale detail to this car. The last thing that we're going to do here today is all about the tires and wheels. So honestly, these black wheels with a little center hubcap here from the factory do look good, but when you get a set of like white wheels on there, it really pops. It brings out the other colors in the body. So I'm actually, these are my son's wheels for his Yokomo, and I'm actually going to steal them. I'm going to trade with him some other wheels. I like these the most. These are some DS Racing adjustable offset. I'll provide a link to them down in the video description. These already have a set of the Yokomo DRCs on it. So these will be my dedicated carpet tire for this vehicle. And I'm going to use these MSTs. We're going to get them out of the box and we're going to look at the offset and adjusting the offset for them. And then I'm actually going to put these factory tires back onto these wheels, because these factory tires have actually done very well for me here in the garage. So as we continue to practice and tune with this vehicle, we're going to have these silver wheels, but we're still going to be using the factory tires. Now, I forgot that these MST wheels actually do come with this. They come with an own set of nuts. Now, one of the reasons I'm excited about this is I want to change out the factory nuts that come with this Redcat. They're not a flanged nut. They're just a standard nut. They also don't have any nylon in them or anything like that to lock them in place. So I had actually purchased these ARPs, and I will leave a link for them down in the video description. Those will help. They're serrated on the back and everything, so they'll help make sure that your nut doesn't come loose on the wheel. And I'm going to replace these basically just standard nuts that Redcat was using. I'm guessing that these were being used to help provide enough space for those little center caps to pop on, whereas these are going to be thicker. Both of these designs are going to be thicker. I'm guessing those covers aren't going to pop on the factory wheel anymore, but that's okay. This is pretty standard, and they're actually lightweight, super lightweight nuts. Really, really good. Recommend that you do use them. Now, one thing I want to point out is as you look at different tire and wheel choices for this car is this lower control arm right here does stick out a pretty good amount. And so as you look at your different wheel and tire options, it sure looks like it gets close in there and looks like it almost wants to rub on the wheel. I noticed that for both of these wheels that it is very, very, very close. Now, it's been pointed out to me that you actually do have an option here. This upright knuckle actually has two different holes through it, one here and one in the bottom. From the factory, it's actually assembled through the bottom hole. So you could actually take this screw out, push this pin in, move this up to that next hole, and then that would actually give you just that little bit of extra clearance to make sure it does not rub on any wheel. So just be mindful of that when you are looking at swapping over tires and wheels for this vehicle. The other thing you're going to want to watch is the back spacing itself actually on these wheels. So what I'm going to do to just make sure that I get close to the factory offset is I'm going to lay this across right here. So this scale is actually inside the hex, and then this one lays across, and I can see that it is at 10 millimeters on the bottom side. So what I want to do is set these MST and DS Racing ones to where they're the same. Now, fortunately, my DS Racings are also already basically exactly the same, maybe about a ½ millimeter off. And these MST are actually adjustable. You can push these center barrels out, and then based on the location here in these rings, you can actually adjust the offset of them. Some people do have issues with these actually coming apart once assembled. So a lot of times what you will see doing is putting a little bit of glue or something in there to help hold it. Now, if you've never messed with RC drift wheels before, they actually just push right on and off the wheels. You will see some people that talk about actually trying to like heat up the tire and cool the wheel and push them together. Honestly, that's just silliness. You don't need to do that silliness whatsoever. The only thing that you will do sometimes is I do find it worth to upgrade to one of these aluminum pullers. Yeah, you want these tires to be on tight, and all this does is help you precisely push them in and out and saves your hands a little bit. But you just literally push it down and it'll come right off of the wheel. So kudos to Redcat, they actually did this right. They actually do have the self-centering tape here on the wheels from the factory. Good job. Didn't know if they would have actually done that or not. These MST wheels actually come with tape to be put on them, with the foam to be put on there. This helps you center the wheel and make sure that the wheel is true. And what you'll notice as you come around, as you peel it off and you just put it in the center, a lot of times it'll come very close to the center, or if you stretch it a little bit, it'll actually be overlapped. You don't want it to be fully overlapped. You want it to just be pretty close to the center, just like this. With the tire itself, what you will find is one side's probably going to be a little bit bigger than the other side. So like right here, it's kind of hard for me to get this side in, but over here that it goes in much easier. So the tires are not actually the exact same diameter inside and outside. So you will push the front face of the wheel through the larger diameter of the tire, and you will just continue to squeeze until it's all the way on there. If you need to center it at all a little bit more, Again, the tool over here will come in and just flush this down in. Oh, look at that. The white on there, I just love. It really just helps the Redcat logo, the RDS, the stripes and everything. It really helps all of that just pop. Check that out. But over here, boom! Look at that silver. Oh, I think I like that even more actually. The wheels look just even bigger. They just look huge based on the design. It brings out the gray in the car. I think that looks amazing. I do notice that even though it must be a slightly different measurement in the offset there, because you notice how it actually wants to come and sit out just a little bit. So this is why I haven't glued these tires yet. Is I said they were going to need to be in that 9mm offset, but I believe I might have to get them down into the 7 to make sure that they clear appropriately. So, or I'm going to have to just clearance this arch ever so slightly in order to let these wheels clear. I'm very excited about this. We have been able to, for a relatively cheap price, throw some new wheels on the mirrors, the windshield wipers, these vents up here in the hood, and really transform and add some detail to this car and make it look even that little bit better. So if you are considering getting the Redcat RDS, keep this in mind definitely. The silver wheels from MST looking great. The white there from DS Racing looking awesome, and you can add some scale accessories like the mirrors, like the wipers, like the vents, and really bring your build to just a little bit something different so that it doesn't look like everybody else is out there. Now, thank you for watching. If you're curious about anything that I did, please leave a comment down in the video description. If you want to see anything more about this Redcat RDS, I have a playlist for that right over here to your right. Feel free to jump over there and check out any of those videos. See you in those. Thank you and goodbye.